My family got some great news. A week ago Thursday, our latest grandson was born. So we're obviously overjoyed with that. His family lives out in California, so we're doing lots of texting of photos, and we've even FaceTimed, which is interesting with a 4-day-old. They don't do a lot, but it was well worth it. It's probably very good that the screens in here aren't working yet after a lightning strike, so that you're not stuck with baby pictures all through the service, because of course, little James is an absolutely adorable, perfect child, even electronically. One of the fascinating things my son, William, did was he texted me a video he took. And it was a video of James reading his first book. It was Where the Wild Things Are, in case you're interested in what my son's favorite childhood book is. And of course, all James can do at day 4 is make some noises and move his eyes as the pages are turned, but not a whole lot more than that. But of course, William was trying to tell me something very important, and that is that he was passing along the value that he had received growing up, of the importance of books, of learning, of education. He himself is a high school vice principal, so he's really living out that value. And interestingly, a lot of our kids are teachers or librarians, so books are huge in our life. So I'm sure this video is one of those that would be saved and shown at engagement parties and other embarrassing moments, so that James will always know that the first value that was given him by his family was the importance of books and education. But really, of course, that's not the very first value. The first value was that he is beloved. The first value comes from the photos of he with his mom and his dad as they're snuggling in those opening days. That first value is one that I know William and Melody, James' mom, William's wife, that those are the primary values that they'll want their son to carry. They are valued, that he is valued, that he is loved, that he is important to his parents and to God. Now, I think of all that when, I love having Charlie's sound effects, it fits perfectly. It is all of that I think of when I think of this story of the young man, historically people think of him as the young man, asking Jesus about what does it take to inherit eternal life. And Jesus gives him a little pop quiz consisting of most of the 10 commandments, and the fellow says, yes, I follow those. And Jesus says, well, all you got to do is sell what you have and follow me. And the man is distressed, he says, because he's wealthy. And so this will be a very hard thing to do. You see, part of what's happened here at some point in this person's life is that primary value of being loved, being a beloved child of God, has been set aside. And it's not hard to imagine why. Life in the time of Jesus wasn't all that different from life for us now, where there are lots of competing values that are offered to both children and adults, then and now. The way to define oneself is how famous we are, how much authority we have, how much money we have. That's what was said then. That's what's often said now. And so we, as parents, as honorary parents, as aunties and uncles, as church people, have to repeatedly counter those messages. One of the saddest things that I encountered as a parent or as a priest was when I served for 11 years at church in Los Angeles. And the sad thing was how many kids, and by this I mean humans aged about 8 years old to 18, their life ambition was to be on the Disney Channel. Now, part of the dynamic was that every school in the greater Los Angeles area was almost constantly being scouted by the Disney Channel because they churned through children's talent like cookies and milk. that there were so many shows to cast and kids would get too old that they had to be replaced, that anyone appearing in a high school musical could be scouted and signed by Disney. Someone even appearing in the 10-year-old Christmas pageant could be scouted and signed. So it was not a foreign concept to be on the Disney Channel, and many people saw their friends get to be on the Disney Channel. But when your life ambition is something that can only last until you're at most 18 years old, except for less than a handful of people that transcended that, life is very limited. Life, in a sense, ends when you reach adulthood. And part of what this gospel tells us, part of what just human common sense tells us, is that we have to have values that go beyond our teenage years. We have to have values beyond fame and fortune. And part of what Jesus is trying to tell us in this morning's gospel is to make sure that we are transmitting to our children, to our fellow adults, the values that do last, that literally last for eternity. And I think the one that this man in this morning's gospel had lost was that he was loved. I think he had become so identified with his riches that he had lost track of who he really was as a beloved child of God. Because Jesus clearly had sympathy for this man. He didn't tell the fellow to get out of here, you're too rich to be a father to him. Instead, he really did have, we only get the abbreviated form, but he really did have a true conversation with this person. He really did give this person some pointers. And to give you some good news here, it says that while it was hard for that person, it doesn't say that for the rest of his life he stayed wealthy and disregarded God. We can honestly say that the gospel leaves room for this person to shift how he identified himself, how he saw himself, how he lived, what he valued. So this person is lost. But it is one of those instances, one of these stories that the Gospels give us to remind us of how important it is to make sure we stay centered as children, as adults, and everything in between on what's really important in life. And particularly in our identities as beloved children of God, whatever age we are. This young guy, this rich man, he knew the Bible. He knew the Ten Commandments, but he didn't get how loved he was. He didn't understand how much God treasured him, and maybe not, how much other people treasured him. Maybe folks just saw him as a rich person. Maybe people just saw him as someone who was good at making money. Maybe people saw him as someone who could be used because he was rich. Who knows? You can fill it in any way that is helpful to you. But what we can see is that even as he was drawn to God, even though he was drawn to Jesus, it was something that was feeling odd to him. He was going to have to shift who he was, how he saw himself, because of this crazy thing that Jesus said about, well, you have to sell everything and follow me. In our own lives today, it's crucial that we share with our children, with our friends, with our children, with our fellow adults as we're adults, our favorite book, whatever it is. Little James, seeing his dad's favorite book. We need to share what we think is really important about life, what makes us the very best humans we can be. And hopefully, Holy Family, hopefully God, hopefully Christ in our lives is a major part of that. Is a major part of who we are and what makes ourselves at our very best. Capable of being vulnerable, being courageous, of being loving, forgiving, capable of being people who are reconcilers of the world with God, the basic Christian task. It's something that is countercultural. It's something that won't get us on the Disney Channel. But it is something that changes us and change the world for the better, and will last through good times and bad, through easy times and hard times, and through this life and for all eternity. So, think about what brings you joy. Think about what gives us a sense of purpose. Think about what instills hope. And my bet is in those things you will find how God is in your life right now and where God may be asking you to grow spiritually. God's not asking everyone to give up everything, but if you do, Holy Family is a good place to live. But God is asking us to put God first and find how it is we are to live that out. So it'll be individual, every one of us, and we change through our lives. If we listen to that, if we listen to that leading from God, things will work out. It won't be easy. Life is never easy. But it will give us meaning, will give us peace, will give us a way of being that will get us through just about anything, and also will help us love the world into being a better place. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.